Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. There is an interesting Gemara. This Gemara will help us out to understand a shaila that might be relevant to the upcoming Yom Tov. The Gemara Masechta Baba Kama Daf Ayin Ches Amud Beis, Rava asks a shaila. Somebody says, Harei alai oila. I take upon myself to bring a carbon oila. And he sets aside a shur. A shur is an ox, a big animal. Now, you don't have to give a shur for an oila. You could give a smaller size animal. But he wanted to do it the nicest way. He wanted to bring a carbon, a beautiful, beautiful carbon. You could have done it cheaper, but he did it in the best. He set it aside, and he wanted to go tomorrow and bring it to the Beis HaMikdash or whatever. Uba achar v'ganav. He didn't manage to bring it to the Beis HaMikdash yet. Before he had a chance to bring it to the Beis HaMikdash, somebody came and stole that ox. And the question is, when they catch the ganav, does the ganav have to pay the value of an ox because that's what he stole? Or does he have to pay the value of an oila? Because after all, the person pledged a oila. And an oila does not necessarily have to be an ox. The Gemara has two opinions. Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah says a oila could even be a keves, a small animal, the Rabbanan say it could be a small animal, and Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah could say it could even be a bird. So when you catch the ganav, and the ganav is willing to pay, does he have to give what he stole? Because after all, he can replace it based on the commitment and on the pledge that was made. The pledge was a oila, and that he's replacing the pledge. And the Gemara comes to a conclusion, and the Gemara says, Basar the boy hada pashat. After the question was discussed, the Gemara came to an answer that he does not have to give as a shur. He has to give whatever the opinion the Gemara held a good oila would be. That according to the Rabbanan you would have to give a kevesh. According to Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah, it would be enough if you give a oila sa'if. But even though this person put aside a shur, you don't have to give a shur. Stop. That's the Gemara. Based on this Gemara, I saw a very interesting shaila. We're a couple of weeks away from Pesach. Everybody is finding time to find the biggest chumras on matzah. You're choosing a day when you're going to be careful in your matzah, and the best and the shensta, the Tana Rishon and all that. And you're investing time, you're investing money, all that. And you have the nicest and the shensta matzah, no nefucha, no shivur, no kfulas, everything. What happens? You come home and you have your boxes of matzah. Everything is picture perfect. And one of your friends accidentally takes your matzahs and he breaks your matzahs. So you had a box of whole matzahs and he broke them. It's not garbage. It's not garbage. But your value for you had shleimus, you had good Mahuda de Kashlemis de Kamatzis, similar to the shur, the person who wanted to give the ox as a carbon. You wanted a real deal type of thing, and now you're stuck with crumbs of matzahs. Not crumbs, cracked matzahs. So, could you take him and say, Mister, pay me for what it's big? I have a big loss. There is a similar shaila. There is a machlekes haposkim. What happened was Ruvain once went and bought a very expensive esrig. You know, the esrogim business is a big business. Ruvain went and found an esrig muhuder. He spent $500, $800. He bought an esrig. Shimon was looking, found this esrig. He brought it home, and he lost the esrig. He lost Ruvain's esrig. So he has to replace the esrig for Ruvain. So the question became, does he have to replace Ruvain? Does he have to give Ruvain a $800 esrog? Or would it be good enough if he gives him an esrog that the mitzvah, you can fulfill the mitzvah with? Does he have to give him an $800 esrog? How do you measure that $800 value? The mitzvah you could fulfill with a $50 esrog, with a $100 esrog. That's not a tangible loss. All these three questions seem to be the same question. So by the Oyla, the Gemara paskin, that you don't have to pay the shor. You pay whatever passes as even though he stole an ox, he doesn't have to give back an ox. What was the psak din by the esrog? There was a machlekes. The Maram Mintz in Siman Kuf Yud Gimel paskin that Reuven that bought this esrog in expensive money, Shimon only has to pay him $50, $100, whatever a regular kosher esrog would be, whatever you could be mekayim the mitzvah of arba minim, dalad minim, that's what he pays him. The extra hiddur is not a tangible loss. The Chacham Tzvi in Siman Kuf Ches says, the two cases, the comparison of the issue of the esrog and the issue of the carbon is completely different. Because the carbon, you're right. Once I designated the ox as a carbon, there is no value to that ox anymore. You know why? That ox can't be sold, cannot be used. Why can't it be sold? Once I designate it as something for the Beis HaMikdash, there is no value. I can't sell it. I can't give it away. It's only for the Beis HaMikdash and only for the Beis HaMikdash. So there is no money value to it. So if the guy steals it, you're right. All he has to replace is the value of my pledge to give an oila. Not the value. There's no other loss involved. Whereas by the esrog, there is value to a better esrog versus a regular esrog. So the Maram, so the Chacham Tzvi said over there, I want him to pay not a $100 esrog. I feel he has to pay back an $800 esrog. So what would be the case over here, where somebody took a box of matza that his friend paid $30 a pound, and he broke it? For broken matzahs, you don't pay $30 a pound. Would he have to pay him back $30, or would he for the pounds that he broke, or would he pay him $15, $20? L'cha'ira, it would be compared to the case of the esrog, and it would depend who you paskin like. If you paskin like the Maram Mintz will say, just like by the esrog, you could if you have no choice, you don't need complete matzahs. The mitzvah of matzah you can fulfill just by having broken matzahs. It's not the best, but the mitzvah, you ate matzah, you ate mitzvah's matzah, you fulfill the matzah, so you just have to pay him whatever amount you could fulfill the mitzvah of matzah. However, the Chacham Tzvi would hold, just like the esrog, there is some value to the hiddur in a better matzah, and if by the esrog he held you had to pay more, he would have held in this case that if you break a $30 pound of matzahs, you break it, you have to pay him $30 back.